Vigyan Bharati. So yesterday we are talking about the arithmetic progression which are having odd number of terms and where we have to calculate to derive the term arithmetic mean for that particular AP series. Now we'll move on to the problem of similar kind that I had told, that in case the number of terms is even, then in that case there are what would be the arithmetic mean. To remember that, first we have to take a series of similar kind where we will see the number of term will be even. So let me take it as 2n number of terms, wherever if we take any value of n where n belongs to an integer, belongs to an integer which cannot be a fraction because that is representing your position of the term. So if I see 2n is always represent a even number. So this total series, as per our understanding, this is first term and d is a common terms, and by that we can represent this is an AP series which is having even number of terms. Now for even number of terms series, my two mid terms or the arithmetic means, there are always two arithmetic means that you understand. Yesterday I have said I told that wherever there is an odd number of series, there are only one mean. But whereas if I see the minimum of that, if I take four numbers of terms 1, 2, 3 and 4, so out of that this 2 has to be considered as a mean, because any of these two cannot be taken as a mean, because this represents those terms from which on the either side there are equal number of terms. Instead of 4, if I take 6, another even number, so in that case third and fourth term, this third and fourth term will represent the term as two means of that even series, from where on the either side we are having equal number of terms. So similar way, this 2n, what are the terms will represent the arithmetic means, the term number 2n by 2, the first term that we will get by dividing the number of terms by 2. Here if we see the 4 numbers can be divided by 2, will get the second terms, that means second ones, and the next one will be when you will add 1 to it, so you will get third terms. Similarly for 6 number of terms, if I divide 6 by 2, we will get third, so first one, and if I add 6 by 2 plus 1, we will get the next term. So for that way, this series which are having 2n even number of terms, the first one arithmetic mean will be the term which is 2n by 2, and the next would be 2n by 2 plus 1. So these are the two arithmetic mean terms. So these are, if I simplify, this is n and n plus 1 for any even number terms in the AP. So these are the two consecutive mean that will lie in the center of the series. So what are the terms? Now once you have identified or established the term position, you can easily have the term, so that is a n plus n minus 1 into d. This is your first mean, and the second mean will be a n plus 1 minus 1 into d. Further simplifying, you will get, so these are the two terms which will represent the two mean of the even series. So this is the rule. So the rule says, if I write it in rule form, so it says that for an arithmetic progression when there are even number of terms, then the arithmetic means are the terms found by the number of total number of terms divided by 2 and total number of terms by 2 plus 1. So this is the rule of getting the arithmetic means. And the first arithmetic means is represented by this, the TM1 you can say, and this is your second arithmetic means TM2 you can say. So for even number of terms in a AP, so arithmetic means always be two numbers. So now you understood what are the rules. This is the second rule. Now we'll see some example on that, one or two example on that, then we'll proceed for the rules. Okay, so now if I say any practical example where, let me take the series is 1 3 5 7 like that, and this having the number of terms up to 50th term. Okay, now we have to find the arithmetic mean for this series. Okay, so to find the arithmetic means, this is having the first thing you have to identify the how many numbers of terms is there in the series. So this is having 51 number of terms, so 51 is an odd number. So for odd number, your arithmetic mean TM, or you can say the arithmetic mean for this series is only 1, and the number and that the number of term where m can be calculated as, if m is the position of the term, so m can be calculated by what, 51 plus 1 by 2, so n plus 1 by 2. So this is because this is become how much, 26. So 26 term of this series, if I count it by 1 2 3 4 like that, 26 term of this series will be the arithmetic mean. So m is equal to 26, so this Tm can be written as T26, and T26 you can calculate it by the first term plus let me write the formula so that it can be remembered always. M, because this is represented by Tm, so I will write m minus 1 instead of n, I will, and d. So now this is obvious that you know the first term and the common difference between the any two consecutive terms. Either you can subtract this from this or this from this, so we'll get always the same answer because this is identified as a AP series. Okay, so this is equal to a is become 1 and m is, this case is equal to 26 and minus 1, and d is equal to 2. So your term will be 1 plus 26 minus 1, 25 into 2, that is equal to 50, that is equal to 51. So your arithmetic mean value wise will be 51, will be answer. Now if you physically want to cross check, you can cross check by going up to the 26 term and this the value is whether it is 51 or not, that you can cross check for some cases initially when you are developing some concept. To cross check, it is always good. It may be a little bit a foolish job, but sometimes this foolish job will give you much confidence when you do yourself at home. So practice is always better. More you practice, more concept will be clear to you, and don't hesitate to experiment anything when you are practicing at home. That may be a very silly step, but still it will it is always better to do foolish things or silly things at home rather to practice or try at the time of exam. So I would always prefer to do silly things, and it will inherently clear your doubts. Okay, so I will prefer to do it at home. So the second one of this kind, when the series, maybe I will take some other series, let's say 1 4 7 then 10, like that, and this time the series continues up to 100 number of term, 100 term. So you can see by seeing the term, this is a series which carries up to an even number of terms. Okay, so now sorry, that the rule I have written when there are, yes, so even number of terms. So in this case, the t mean 1 can be calculated by dividing the total number of terms by 2. Okay, so this is equal to 50th term. So not only the t, only m1. So that means the mean term 1. I am calculating the position of the term, and mean term 2 will be added 1 to that, because that is obviously the next term to m1. So need not to go by formula. Once you have decided this one 50th, so next one be 51 plus 1 51. Otherwise you can use the formula by keeping it m by 2 plus 1. That will give you the same answer. Okay, so you need not to follow that, because rule is only to understand the concept, but whereas you will do the sum, you can skip some of the conceptual way. You can rather take it directly the two consecutive terms of the series, where one is already you have identified. The next term will be obviously the next mean. So the t mean 1, the term as a value, if I want to calculate, that will be calculated by a plus, this case m1 minus 1 into d. So you can understand the a is here itself is 1, m1 is nothing but the 51, because 50, m1 is being derived as 50 by the formula. So you will put 50 here, minus 1 into d is equal to 4 minus 1 or 7 minus 4, you will get 3. So this is, and you always try to check at least 3 consecutive terms by doing the difference, because sometimes the series is not directly being given as a arithmetic progression series, rather some twist might have given. So there you need to do some more things, but that I am not discussing, because that will be a very tougher for the beginners. So I am not going to that way, because one few chapter before I have given an example to make you understand that in case any direct formula can be used, that you can use. There I have used one example where the series itself is not a direct AP series, rather the difference are moving like an AP series. So that is a different one, but that will come when you will get more practice on AP and you will able to solve the tougher problem. So I am not moving into that directly, because that will be a very tough for the beginners. So I will insist you should practice more the simpler problem, the easiest one first, and then slowly move on to the tougher problem. So now the value will become 50 minus 1 is equal to 49 into 3. So the 49 into 3, how much it is? 147, I suppose. 147 plus 1, 148 will be the answer. So similarly, if you want to calculate the t mean 2, so that then the value will be similarly, I will putting the value directly. So this is 51 minus 1 into d is equal to 3. So that is equal to 1 plus 51 minus 1 is 50 into 3 is equal to 150. 150 plus 1 is equal to 151. So these are the two terms you can see. Now that is very easy to also cross check your answer, because these are two consecutive terms. So definitely the difference between these two terms has to be the common difference. So if you minus 151 minus 148, you definitely have to get the common difference you are getting by this series, Now that is the another way whether your answers are correct or not. So now I will give another rule which is based on that AP. That is this is number 19. I will mark it here. It is saying that if rule says any what you can say regular any number, not any number, you can say the number picked regularly picked from an AP a number picked from an AP in regular interval will form another AP. Okay, so I mean to say, if an AP is given and from there you are starting picking numbers from irregular intervals, that I mean to say let the series be, if I go with an example directly, a plus d, a plus 2d, like that, and it is spread up to a finite term. So as per the condition, if I want to pick any term, not any term, picking terms in regular intervals, that means if I want to pick the first as the second term, then in regular interval the second one, let me pick the t2 first. Okay, the next term from that I want to pick the t5. So once this momentum has fixed, because what I am picking the terms starting from any term, I am picking the third term from that point, from where I pick the first one. From there I am keeping a gap of 3 and picking the next term from the series given, and the next to that term will be of equal interval. That means if I have kept a 3 gap here to pick a term, then the next term obviously I will get t8 term. Okay, so that is the statement here. Okay, so now if I try to pick like that, if I array the number as it is, where I am picking, I pick t2 first, then I picked t5. So accordingly, if I array the numbers, the series it will form, it will also be an AP. That has to be proved. So understand, let me explain it another one more time. I picked I am having one AP series. From there I am picking numbers in regular intervals starting from any number. Okay, so I may start from the first term also, and the next term that I will pick will decide the interval. So that means if I want to pick the t1 first, then after I have picked t4, then this two term will decide the frequency by which I will pick the next terms. That means if I pick t1 then t4, so I am keeping a gap of 3, the next definite term I will pick will be t7. So like that, if I arrange those terms, so whatever series I will get the series in the form of AP. That has to be proved. Now if I go with these two examples to prove my randomness and whether the both cases they are forming an AP, so what would be my, if I go with the case 1, this is, I name it case 1, this is case 2. The case 1, this is I am picking T2. So T2 is, the value is a plus d. So this is one a plus d. What would be my T5? As per formula, this will be 4d. A plus n minus 1 into d. N minus 1 into is equal to this one. T5 is equal to a plus 7d. Likewise, this will go. Now, to prove it, if I get the same common difference between these two consecutive terms, definitely I can say that this is forming an AP. So what you are getting, this minus this, you will get 3D here. This is very simple mathematics. You can go with my explanation. And if I subtract this this from this, again a will be cancelled out. 7d minus 4d, I will get 3d. So you can see both the cases the common difference I am getting, although it is not the same as the actual series, but for this particular series I am getting a common difference which is equal. So I can say that case 1 is represent a AP, representing an AP. If I go with the second term, so T1 is your A, T4 is how much? A plus 3D, okay, and T7 is your A plus 6D. For this case also, if I do, I will get 3D as a common difference. If I say for this also, I will get 3D as common difference. For this case also, you can get the equal common difference. So you can pick any number, any two numbers, and if we follow the same frequency later on, so whatever the series will form, it will form the it will form an AP. So let's say, for example, if I say case 3, where I will pick, let's say, T4 first, then after I try to pick T8. So this first two term will decide what would be the third term in this case. So in this case, I can keep a difference of 4 terms. So the next will be T12, like that. Now if I mark the value of these terms, it will be 3D, 4th term, this will be 7D, and this will be 11D. Now if I want to calculate this also, what do I get? Let me check. If I do subtraction of between these two terms, or I want to get the common difference between the two terms, it will give you 4D. And if I do the same thing here, I will get again 11D minus 7D, it will 4D. Now for each case you are getting different common difference, but for a particular series you are getting the same common difference. Understood? So that rules holds good in an AP. If we pick any terms in a regular interval, the series form will also be an AP series. Okay. So here I will end my session. In the next session, maybe 2-3 such example I will show you. It will be a different kind. Then after, I don't think much variety will come, because if I want to search for the variety mode, that will be complicated right now. That is not my intention to go tougher, because later I will bring back this subject again, where I will discuss few more problems which are a combination of two subject of mathematics. One could be the arithmetic progression, another could be any other subject. Because why I am not discussing, because that need the idea of the associate subjects also, as associate means topics also. So this is not based on only the arithmetic progression, that would be a combination of other subjects. So unless I teach that subject, you will not able to understand the correlation, and you will not able to solve it. That will be a puzzle for you. So I am just purely going with the arithmetic progression, where this is being based on the arithmetic progressions only, not with combination of any other topic. So I may give you 2-3 more means variety problems. Then after I move on to the subject, which is a part of this you can say the series or the or any kind of, you can say, the progressions that I will discuss. Okay. So thank you for now, and you just go through my sessions and try more sums at home so that you can build confidence on this. Thank you.